All right, I want to talk about something I've been seeing a lot lately. TikTok Shop is still a great opportunity, especially if you're already selling on Amazon or even Shopify. But I'll be honest with you, it is definitely getting harder. It's not impossible or too late, but it's definitely not what it was 12 months ago, nor what it was 2 years ago when I first started. If you're hoping to wait until like the hype dies down, or you have more time or confidence or whatever the excuse may be, I'm fearful for you that 2026 will be too late. Not because TikTok Shop's going away, it's definitely not. It's here for the long run, but that early adopter advantage is really quickly starting to run out. It's the same as dropshipping back in like 2016, or even doing social media marketing 5-10 years ago. We are still very much in that golden age, in the early adopter phase of TikTok Shop, but that window is really quickly shrinking. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what's changing, how I'm seeing the landscape evolve in real time, what's still working, and what I would do if I was starting out again today, especially if you're coming from Amazon. Now, when I first started TikTok Shop back in 2023, so it's been just over 2 years since I started my journey selling on the TikTok Shop platform. It was really a wild place to be in. It was like the Wild West out there. So many things have changed. The platform fees were basically non-existent. I think I probably paid like an average of 2% on my first probably 6 months worth of sales on the TikTok Shop platform. I also didn't run any ads on the platform, I think, for about the first 6 months on there, because you just really didn't need to, because there were just no sellers. You know, back in the day, TikTok were obviously still promoting TikTok Shop, probably not as often as they are now, but where there's so many more sellers nowadays, actually getting your listings promoted and getting that free traffic, that organic traffic, just isn't the same. There's one product that I have, and over the last couple of years, it's done some really crazy numbers. It's not really been a focus of mine. It's just something that I've had running in the background. And I tell you, this year, we are actually gonna have negative growth on last year. And that is literally by choice of just letting that product go. It just creates some money. It brings cash into the business that gets reinvested elsewhere. And the only thing that I do for this product is send out some samples. Every now and then I might contact some affiliates, but I never really reach out to new affiliates. I just let this product run in the background. And this year we will probably do less than 50% of the total units sold, at least over this summer period, which was one of our busiest periods last year. And just to be clear, this is the same strategy that I had last year. Last year, it just absolutely blew up. The year before, it done the same. It done really well. And I think the biggest reason for this, because again, it's not like I was making loads of content myself. The biggest reason for this is actually there are so many big brands out there now sending out free samples or offering extra commission or whatever other financial incentives to affiliates on the platform, that you just can't get those high quality affiliates as easily as you used to. You know, I know for me, when I first started, I got to making 4 to 5 figures a month very quickly with basically no upfront investment directly from the TikTok Shop platform. It was just something I was doing as some extra income. So let's talk about why this is actually all getting so much harder. I've kind of already alluded to the fact that there are bigger brands trying to collaborate with all of the top influencers. Even on TikTok Shop, you don't need to be an influencer. You see so many people with a few thousand, maybe a few 10,000 followers that are absolutely crushing it with TikTok Shop, and they're making thousands and maybe even up to 10,000 a month in affiliate commission. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But the problem is this data is literally available for all brands to see, so everyone's competing for the same creators. So creators' inboxes are literally just getting flooded with requests, and now creators are really the ones that can get picky. Whereas when I first started, brands had a lot more control than the creators did, because there were so few brands to actually go and promote, especially brands that were offering a decent commission. Now everyone's offering a good commission because they know how important it is to work with affiliates, because affiliates really are going to be the biggest sales booster of your TikTok Shop over any other strategy. Then the other thing to think about as well is that just organic reach for TikTok Shop is so much down. And a big part of that is going to be, again, because there are so many brands, so many products, so many creators out there pumping out videos. And whilst, like I mentioned earlier, TikTok are definitely promoting TikTok Shop videos more in your TikTok feed than they used to, say, a year or definitely 2 years ago. The ratio of like product videos compared to what's being shown in the feed is definitely dropped a significant amount. But this is all just part of the TikTok Shop platform maturing. It's the same way that Instagram and Facebook and all the other social media has matured before. Everyone says it used to be really easy to grow on Instagram. back in the day when Instagram was still new. I mean, I can't speak for that myself because I was never on it. And I know for my personal brand on TikTok, at least a few years ago when I started making content, even just normal content, not shoppable content, I know that that was actually a lot easier to grow on than it is now. You know, this easy mode period for TikTok Shop is ending. I do believe we're still in a bit of an easy mode. Like, just to be fully transparent for you, it's still easy to get some of these crazy results because all you need is that one viral video to blow up. And in a way that will never change. But the more that these bigger brands are coming onto TikTok Shop, like if you go and you search on TikTok Shop nowadays, you see so many big brands, big established brands. I know I'm seeing Ninja absolutely killing it over on TikTok Shop at the minute. And this is only going to continue. These big brands that are slower to adapt to changes are just going to go on there and they're going to dominate, just how they dominate on Amazon and everywhere else. And this is why that this year is really going to be the end of this easy mode on TikTok Shop, and why you actually just really need to get started sooner rather than later. If you have been thinking about starting TikTok Shop, this is the opportunity to do it. There is definitely more of a strategy that is required nowadays, but if I think about how much strategy you need now versus back when I started, the difference is crazy. Even crazier thing than that is actually how much the strategy is evolving. We're getting lots of tools, especially AI tools now for TikTok Shop. And the biggest one that I see most people using and all of the success with are the tools that do all of the work with affiliates. So whether that be affiliate outreach, affiliate management, like all of that is pretty much done by these AI tools. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not cheap. So most of the AI tools I've seen are usually going to cost like a minimum of about $100 a month. And even the ones that I've seen from very early on, the prices of those have more than doubled in roughly the last sort of 6 months, maybe 12 months. Like the prices are just going up and up because the developers behind these softwares know how big and how important what they've got is. Now, the good thing about the cost of these tools is that, especially if you have an established brand, maybe on Amazon or Shopify, even just doing a few £1,000s a month in sales, you're probably gonna be able to take a risk on say £100 or £200 to sign up for some software, which is what is gonna give you a bit of an advantage over people who aren't willing to make that investment. Now, the smart money on TikTok, the people that are actually gonna grow in the remainder of this year are the people that are actually gonna use these kind of tools to help them manage their affiliates. Because it's not just about saving you time, it's about actually managing your affiliates professionally. Now, the other thing that's really changing and evolving on the TikTok platform is actually the ads. So by September, we're going to be fully into GMV Max ads. So the original Spark ad system on TikTok will be completely scrapped and will just be in GMV Max, which is a fundamental change for the TikTok Shop platform. And running ads isn't like what it used to be. Whereas I mentioned for me, I had some good success on TikTok in my early days, probably the first 6 months or so, where I didn't run any ads and I still made some pretty good money there. Whereas now it's the same with Amazon. Running ads on TikTok is almost a prerequisite. You kind of need to see as running some ads as almost like paying your rent to TikTok. This is really what's gonna get you off the ground. Like, don't run ads from day one on the first video you make, by all means, and I've definitely gone over this in other videos previously. So once you finish watching this video, then click the link down below in the description, because learning how to run ads properly is really key on TikTok. But ads are definitely a much more fundamental part of the platform, and as this evolves, along with like the AI tools that I mentioned earlier in this video, is that the costs to start doing TikTok are just going up and up and up. And this is just another reason why you need to get in now, because this is still the early adopter phase where it's still relatively cheap to get into TikTok. Even like the TikTok fees are slowly increasing over time. And I'm sure this is only going to get worse and worse. So along with everything else, the cost to actually start TikTok Shop is never going to go below what it is now. And that's like a massive thing, especially if you don't have loads of capital to deploy. The longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be for you to start selling on TikTok Shop. So now that we've covered most of what is changing on the TikTok Shop platform, let's talk about what you actually need to do to combat these changes and get started with your brand and your journey on the TikTok Shop platform. So the first thing you need to do is obviously set up your TikTok Shop. Then if you're already selling on say Amazon or Shopify, luckily for you, you can really easily, with about 2 clicks, import your listings directly into Shopify. You don't need to even do any copy and paste. The only thing you need to do is import your URL onto the TikTok Shop platform, and they will literally copy everything over and make a listing for you. So creating a listing on TikTok Shop, if you have an existing listing on another platform, literally will take you less than 2 minutes. Then you need to make sure you're actually offering a decent affiliate commission. For me, the absolute minimum is 10%, and 10% is only really for those higher priced products. Anything below sort of 20 to 25 pounds. Any product that costs 20, 25 pound or less, you really probably need to think about offering a minimum of 15% commission. Another thing you need to think about with the affiliate commission as well is making sure that you're offering more than your competitors, at least at first. Because if you put yourselves in the shoes of an affiliate who is looking for a new product to promote, and they see one product that's 20% commission and has already sold 10,000 units, so it has really good social proof, and another product that also has 20% commission but has only sold a couple of units, there is not a chance they're going to choose this product. They are always going to choose the product that has that more social proof, because TikTok is a social proof platform, and that is why TikTok Shop works so well, especially with affiliates. Some of the best affiliates that I see on the TikTok Shop platform are like mums. So you're talking women sort of age like 30 to 40, maybe even early 50s, who have like micro niche pages where maybe they're just the most popular person in their area, or out of they have a decent sized friend group, or they're just a little bit well known online. They have a few thousand followers, so people actually trust their opinion. Maybe they have a young child and they're doing really well with weaning their child. Maybe they have a nice house that's always looking clean and organized, so people sort of aspire to be like them, but their content isn't great, but people just trust them because of the bit of content they push out. And these are really the people that are gonna just generate like really consistent sales on TikTok Shop. They'll probably make a few thousand a month in affiliate commission just by posting these few videos, probably a video or maybe 2 videos a day. Sometimes even less than that. Sometimes these creators will literally only post a couple of times a week in regards to a TikTok Shop video, and then keep the rest as non-promotional videos to keep their audience sort of more engaged with who they are and not try and look like a sellout. These are the people that can really do some big numbers for your brand, especially if you get a good little army of them to promote your stuff. And this is where the big brands aren't going to be looking. The big brands are going to be looking at those creators who are generating hundreds of thousands a month in GMV, in product sales on TikTok. So once you've set up your commission structure, the next thing you need to do is you need to get some samples sent out to free to these creators. So again, maybe start looking for those sort of creators I've just spoken about. Just search for your product and then look for some pages that promote similar products from other brands. Usually what you want to be looking for with these kind of pages is people that have promoted something similar but not exactly the same. So if you're selling water bottles, then don't necessarily go messaging people who are already selling your competitors' water bottles, because why would they change over to a new product? Because if they're constantly promoting a water bottle, then there's probably a reason for it. They probably already make some good money off it. So what you want to do is actually just look for something that sort of maybe can complement your product. Don't necessarily just go after all of your competitors' affiliates. Whilst this is definitely something you need to do and reach out to some of them to see if they will swap over and promote your product either alongside or ideally as a replacement for this other brand that maybe is your competitor, you definitely want to be looking for the creators who just promote similar items. Another thing that I would definitely suggest for anyone starting on TikTok Shop is actually just film some of the content yourself as well. Get a brand page off the ground. If you don't want that to be your long-term brand page, then you can just call it something obscure, because you can have multiple brand accounts connected to one TikTok Shop. And you don't need to show your face, even use your voice in these videos. Just look at some competing products, look at the sorts of videos that they make that you're comfortable with, and then replicate the hooks, replicate the lighting as best you can, replicate the angles of the videos, and then just try and keep them in the sweet spot of that round 15 to 30-second mark for a shoppable video. And whilst I know busy business owners may not necessarily have time to start creating loads of content, and you might not want to show your face, I completely understand that, but I promise you it will be worth your time to learn this skill of how to promote the products on TikTok Shop, because then you can also then teach it to other people that are promoting your products as well, once you have that sort of basic understanding. And also the great thing about creating your own page content is that you're not just looking and finding customers by those videos that you're putting out there. There are also going to be affiliates who might see your product pop up on their For You page and then decide to promote that product for you as well. So I know for me, when my product really started getting off the ground was because I was posting the content on my page, and whilst I was getting some affiliate sample requests, it was also getting those affiliates either buying my product or requesting a sample after seeing the product promoted on my page through my videos. Because you've got to think about it this way, if you're promoting your product, then you're probably looking for affiliates that create a certain niche of content, say for a baby product, are gonna be creating baby content on TikTok. Because no matter what, you will definitely get some views. Those views are gonna be from people that are in the niche that you're trying to sell in. And hopefully you might then come across some affiliates within that niche. And even if you just get one sample request, that can change everything. I had a big blow up of the product around Christmas time on my own page. Then I think it was about a month, maybe 2 months later, I then had an affiliate who made a video after getting a sample from my video. That's how she found me. And then she ended up making me, I think it was about 990 sales in one single day. Now obviously there's loads of other sales around this time as well. But in that one day, I think it was about 990 sales from this one affiliate video. And like, it's just absolutely crazy how one good affiliate can literally change everything for your brand. So I do genuinely stress the importance of actually taking the time. You only need to spend a couple of hours a week doing this absolute maximum to create some own page content whilst you get your product off the ground. And then once you start making some sales on TikTok Shop, then you can start thinking about hiring a content creator to do this for you, or you can even just pay affiliates to make extra videos that you can post as own page content, where you pay them maybe an upfront fee for the video and then also maybe then pay them a slightly lower commission rate. This strategy works really well for building up own page content once you found a few good affiliates. And the thing with all of this is you've got to treat this as market research. You know, this isn't all in risk. We've already got products on Amazon or Shopify or wherever it might be that are selling well. And we're gonna go onto TikTok Shop to improve our market share. Everything you're doing on the TikTok platform is gonna be trying to promote your brand, not just on the TikTok Shop platform, but also on your Shopify site or your Amazon store or wherever else you might be selling your product. So look, I know we have discussed a lot in this video, but let me promise you one thing. TikTok Shop is not dead. It's just that early adopter window is really starting to close quite fast. 2025 is probably the last accessible year for TikTok Shop. Once big brands, ad budgets, and everything else start moving in, the opportunity to get in is really gonna start diminishing. And also, as more people use these AI tools to find the best affiliates with no effort, it's really gonna get much harder. So if you have a product already, you've already got a head start. You've already got social proof from your Amazon store or your Shopify store. Do not waste your time. Get started right away. And if you're interested in learning how to properly set up your TikTok shop, then click the video on the end screen now.